Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive into the KISS Community League. Everything bagel. This was round one. We had a very fast start, as you can see. Heart rate gradually rising. I had a really good warm up actually. I did about 45-minute warm up. Staying near the front, making sure I was ready for this first climb, which started off at 2k. I know that is way too early at 2k, but yeah, I wasn't massively confident on this course. Obviously New York being a new circuit, I don't really spend a lot of time on it either, so knowing the climbs is a little bit hard, but nevertheless we gave it a good go. Keep watching my power on the left hand side, top left, and of course the bottom graph as well. Very difficult for me actually, like going up straight up the gate and doing these efforts regardless if I'm climbing or not. It kind of suits a different type of person to be able to just go straight up the gate and do this, because my heart rate is still struggling to rise. I can't just like start and go straight up to 190 beats a minute, so the blood is really struggling to get around my body at this point. The oxygen desperately needed to the muscles, but I didn't slip too far back, maybe 20th or something like that, over the top of this first climb. A few people obviously picked up some power-ups, and I was stuck with the aero, which I couldn't really use. But nevertheless, I dug in and got over the top of the climb. This climb in particular, like because it's so steep as well, and I was on the new Wahoo Kicker 18, I was really kind of having to like get my head around the fact that there was plenty of resistance changing going on, which plenty of you have said, you know, will make my racing better. But in terms of getting used to it, like I've obviously got to get used to it first, and to be honest, it's a little bit alien to have this thing change in resistance under me while I'm going uphill, because of course I'm not trained out on the road with a power meter for a while, so it's difficult to kind of get that feeling back initially. But besides that, I made it over the top of the first climb. I think I set a new 5-minute power for 2018 so far, getting over the top of this climb. Something like, I think it was 400 watts or 399, which is pretty decent, considering obviously I didn't like completely empty the tank, being that the whole race was still left. So you know, if I was emptying the tank, maybe a 420 is in me, which is decent. My best of all time is 444. So yeah, fairly decent start, but like, you know, I didn't make it to the front group, so read what you like into that. But just giving you an overview really of what it takes to ride these races. You know, not even to win them, because you know I finished kind of nowhere near the front this time, 25th or something like that. But we jumped a bit now because there was a lot of flat terrain in the park, up and down, but nothing really hard. So as you can see from the power graph down below, there's a lot of kind of over and under and recovering going on between the two kind of big climbs. But I think for the whole like 40-minute race, I normalized 325 watts, which is, let's just pull it up for you, which is around about 5 to 5.2 watts per kilo. Fairly decent, but again, it's like trying to learn everything. 162 beats per minute average, 179 I maxed out on, with an average cadence of 95. Now I hit this little berg, kind of comes out of nowhere really, but I hit it. I was fairly strong right at the front there of this chase group, and had a really good cadence, as you can see, 105 RPM, and then when I needed to over the top here, I dropped it so I can gain a few more watts, because obviously that gives you a bit more resistance to push against. I had to hold on to Zimmerman. That was my target. Zimmerman is at the top of the screen. He's just disappeared now, but then I kicked in the aero boost and kind of put in a big burst of speed to try and close this gap. Not so much close it as in to bridge across, but to get everybody to make that push behind me so that we can almost get across as a group. But then I nearly dropped myself then, because we come off this little drag right here, and I was sprinting, well not really sprinting, but I was going hard, but of course everybody's coming as a big bunch and they just swamped me and came around. But luckily I managed to hang on. That could have been the end of my race there. but at the same time, looking back at it, I actually made that move over the top of the climb to really kind of not string everything up, but really kind of create the initiative to bring everybody across to that very, very front group, because we were there or thereabouts. We were very close to catching them, and then we made that one big effort just to get across and close that gap officially. So the gap was closed and we were all together. As you can see, I'm like 5th place there, but then we turned onto the last climb of the day, not very far to go obviously. Kicked off very hard again. Oh my word, like these guys are punching orange numbers and I just can't punch the orange numbers. Or I didn't today anyway, I couldn't today, and I was just really struggling, so I had to just set into a rhythm. I knew I could do like, 380 to 400, so I just sat there and obviously picking off a few people every now and again. And sped up like this is a lot easier to see it, so you can see where you're kind of losing people and gaining on people here. I press on over the top, and as you can see, I just fly straight past the group. It's not that I'm pushing more power; it's just that I just kept on the power. So that's something I always try to implement. The group had gone by now. Sat at 19th place. The group had gone, but it's time to focus on staying in the group I was in, because I was found out. I knew that was going to be my limit. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go that well on the shorter climbs that I kind of I said on the interview with Chris Pritchard on his channel, which he actually cut me off halfway through, even though I was getting to the nitty gritty, which providing value to you guys is what I'm all about. So what I was going to say was the kind of power you needed to sustain to get over the top of those climbs with the fast group was like 440 watts for me, which I wasn't capable of doing obviously, or 7.5 watts per kilo. So I either could have lost weight, which I wouldn't do that because I'm 60 kilos at the minute, and I change it every time I race on Zwift, so I know, like, as a pro athlete, you'll change your weight anyway, because you don't weigh the same every single day, so you don't just leave your weight at the weight you think you are at. You'll always change it, using common sense obviously. So coming to the finish, I completely misread this, because I thought we were going to hit the sprint banner from the other way, so the usual way with the little climb to the finish, but it turned out to be like a flat finish. So I used up my feather thinking that I wouldn't need it, which I didn't, but still it was like it was a bit of a surprise coming into the finish this way. Again, I don't really know the course well enough, but sprint finish again, not really up there, so I struggle with that, just producing the power. So we live and learn again from group dynamics, and I won't be racing this week, but I will be back soon racing. I hope you enjoy my live streams. I hope you're enjoying these little breakdown videos. If you are, leave a comment, I'll respond to you, and leave a thumbs up. Cheers.